Hello, my name is Daniel Scuria-Herman. Today's suggestion comes to us from Fleeness, who, this was on the teleprompters video, which was a reaction to a song by both Aesop Rock and Kimya Dawson. They said that they would actually like to see me react to some of Kimya's solo stuff. She has a couple songs, one called Fire and Walk Like Thunder. Preferably the live version of both because she does a great job live. The reason why the suggestion stuck out to me is because it's sort of like different to the other ones I've been getting because it's not just like just Aesop. Not that I have anything against Aesop. Obviously, through all my videos, I've been saying how much I like the guy. I just want to try other things and not just do the same thing over and over again. So if you guys have any suggestions that are of other artists or just of other videos in general, I'm happy to take those. But at the same time, also happy to do more Aesop Rock reactions if that's what people want. So with that out of the way, yeah, another reason why this stuck out to me is because I mentioned the live versions of these songs, and I felt like without the production, what would Kimya sound like? Because I've been noticing like a lot of the production on her voice, so I was wondering what it would be like unplugged. Is that the way it's called? I think it is. Anyway, thank you for the suggestion. I think I'm gonna try Fire. If I can't find Fire, I'll try Walk Like Thunder. Now there's two versions of this that I can see. You can see like from the first few search results. Both don't have as many views as I expected them to, which makes me think that I'm looking at the wrong thing. But one is apparently she was sitting on her couch trying to remember how to play a song. The other one was a performance live in Connecticut. But oh, it's a private residence. I don't think I should watch the one that's private residence. I feel like that's intruding. So I'm gonna watch this one that she uploaded herself. It feels better to me anyway to do it that way. There's less quality options here than there are on my videos. Okay, so yeah, this is Kimya Dawson. I'm not sure if I've seen her on this channel before, at least on my channel, but I'm pretty sure somewhere I saw a picture of her. I think when I looked up at one point Aesop Rock and Kimya Dawson, I think while I was editing the last video, because I said something like, oh, I don't know if Kimya Dawson's that old, and it's like, I don't know, I should double check. Yeah, on the topic of being wrong. Is it that corner? I don't think it's that corner. Probably gonna cut that out. Okay, first off, really like the acoustic, really like guitar. I like a lot of things. I really appreciate just an authentic, very much like classic, not classical, but you know, classic kind of song that just doesn't feel, not that it is, the other songs are overproduced, but it doesn't feel overproduced, especially like this.
It seemed like everyone I knew was dying. I looked in the mirror.
It is really cool, like, to hear the difference between her song, like, with all the layers of production, and her song with that, and did I say song? I meant voice. Her voice without the layers of production, because obviously it's the same person, but it just sounds so different. She still has an element of that uncanniness that I took note of. Again, all these words wrong, but it's like slightly just altered, and I don't know. It's interesting to me.
And I was on fire. Somebody yelled out, hey, stop, drop, and roll. I said that might save my skin, but it won't save my soul. That might save my skin, but it won't save my soul.
Hey.
You swallow hard and you bottle it up. Try to pretend.
I do really like this idea that she started and formulate of this fire as both an internal and external sort of affliction, because I just think that obviously fire itself, like literal physical fire, is always going to be external but it's never going to like affect you mentally aside for trauma. But this type of fire that she's talking about isn't just like, you know, oh no, I lit a match. It's fire on the inside as well. And I like when, because her whole style with metaphor is kind of different from Aesop's, and I like how she plays around with it and extends it throughout her songs, and it's cool.
You're a half full cup. Believe what they're feeding. You're eating it up while I'm reading books about how they're corrupt. I'm reading books about how they're corrupt. He says he's protecting us, but he's a liar. And I know
I like how it goes from optimism to propaganda to corruption, and the recognition of that corruption, all from this extended metaphor of fire.
Cool. They're corrupt. I'm reading books about how they're corrupt. He says he's protecting us, but he's a liar.
And then it's extending this sort of like new lens of corruption later on, because sort of like this spreading fire that's extending out into these other thematic elements.
Know deep down that it's down to the wire. My heart will stop if I put out the fire. As long as I'm burning, I'll keep on yearning to save the world. Not sure how, but I'm learning.
that was a cute rhyme. Burning to yearning to learning. I like that.
Since what they call the beginning of man, blood has been shed for the rape of the land. They call it civilized. I call it crap.
There was this one metaphor I just like this lit up with memory recollection, and my entire computer spazzed out because of it. But there was this one story or metaphor, I don't know where I heard it, but I'm just remembering it now, where it compared humanity to a spreading fire over the land, and it was just this like a plague that scorched the land itself, and sort of like, and while if you watch this channel, you know I have a very positive view of humanity, but I see this sort of idea of like this sort of scorched earth policies, literally, if that had been in place in the past, and just the slow destruction of the world that humanity is ensuring, and this comparison to humanity as this force of nature, this fire, that fire in some circumstances, like with forest fires, are beneficial to nature, but overall fire is not really that nice. kind of destructive, kind of ruins a lot of things. And I like the comparison to humanity as this sort of unrelenting, uncaring force, because personally it goes exactly contrary to everything I believe about humanity, but I like this idea that it's presenting of like, oh yeah, humanity is just destroying everything in its path and cannot be stopped. But to me, I just disagree with that, but it's like an interesting metaphor to look at.
It's not true that we must murder to live.
Yeah, exactly. It's not true that we must murder to live. And sort of going contrary to this idea, I don't know if she saw this or is referencing it or is referencing something akin to it, but this sort of idea of humanity as a fire is untrue in its basest form. It is that humanity is made up of individuals. Individuals make choices, and it's not this uncaring fire that must kill, that must consume. That we can make educated decisions and think for ourselves. And we don't have to murder. We can thrive in other ways. And it's a beautiful sentiment.
It's not true that we must murder to live. He says he's protecting us, but he's a liar. And I know deep down that it's down to the wire. My heart will stop if I put out the fire. As long as I'm burning, I'll keep on yearning to say.
And here's that cool rhyme scheme that I mentioned earlier. But I do like how this fire itself is growing and like extending out into these other metaphors and like into corruption, into humanity, and all these different sort of realms. And then it just like returns, obviously that's how a song works, but it returns to the chorus, and then it all wraps around itself. So yeah, it's very like, it's almost like a ballad, you know, a ballad of this fire, this force that is ever present in life. It's cool.
Save the world, not sure how, but I'm learning. And telling the truth the best way that I'm able. I'm placing my cards all face up on the table. It's okay to be scared. You don't have to act tough. Just take all that pain and turn it into love. Take all that pain and turn it into love. And let your emotions be fuel to your flame. Being on fire will keep you awake. If somebody...
And now that's going around to what I was saying earlier about forest fires being beneficial and the goodness of humanity, is that this fire itself that she's talking about, there is this other side outside of this, you know, commonly held perception of this destructive, uncaring force, is that when you compare it to humanity, the fire is what keeps us alive. It's burning this passion inside us, this love, this emotion that gives us strength and gives us feeling. And it isn't a bad thing. It's our drive. It's our, you know, heart. It's this fire. Yeah, it's very, very beautiful. This is a very beautiful song. I really like this. We got a little bit left here, and there's a bunch of comments that we could look at, and I want to read this description because it looks to be like a bit longer. Yeah, so very cool.
Yells out, hey, stop, drop, and roll. Say that might save my skin, but it won't save my soul. That might save my skin, but it won't save my soul. That might save my skin, but it won't save my soul.
Very cool. That was a very beautiful song. I wanted to read this description because this is part of the why I clicked the videos. I read the first sentence. I was sitting on my couch trying to remember how to play some of my older songs. And then... Oh. The first sentence is entirely different from the rest of the description. Okay. Mike Brown's Murder by Darren Wilson has me feeling so sad and angry. My songs are notes I write to myself. This one is a reminder to not go numb. Flip those feelings, be productive, be inspired, organized, fight the good fight. And that's what I was saying with like, I was going to say weaponize, but weaponize is definitely not the right word. Use this fire to your own, you know, ability to just use it to be like productive, to be creative, to drive yourself to be better. And I think that's a very cool way to look at it. I stand with Ferguson. I'm pretty sure Ferguson was 2014. I'm trying to remember. You know, big political events are, at least in recent years, are not my strong suit. I remember history from before a certain point, but not after. But yeah, If Ferguson is what I'm thinking of, then I stand with Ferguson too. Very beautiful song, and the message very heartfelt. Still listening 2023 with gratitude. Yeah, well, listening for the first time in 2024. This might save my skin, but it won't save my soul. One of the most powerful lyrics I've ever heard. Yeah, that one really stuck out to me as like this big turning point in the song. I really started to get to the heart of it. The music is so beautiful, your lyrics are so real. Yeah, you're like a superhero of music. Yeah, very cool song. It provides warmth, because that's, again, fire. Another benefit for it is the hearth, is the fireplace, is the home, the warmth of the home, and the warmth of humanity, of company, of others. It all just sort of comes together. Anyway, that's all I have to say about this song. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate the suggestion. I'm gonna leave a like on it. Very cool. Let me know what you want me to do next. I am definitely going to make a video on this heat, because I really am suffering right now, and that's starting to impede my mental faculties. So I gotta make a video on it eventually. That's probably gonna be the next video on this channel. So until next time, adieu.